Okay, hello, happy Sunday. I hope that you were able to rest this weekend, recharge a little bit this weekend. I could really sense the overwhelm that was occurring on Friday for you, and I apologize that I wasn't there to support you during our regularly scheduled time. And I did want to keep my word that I would send something to you before the week got started this week that would serve and support you, given the culture at Intuit and just the overwhelm, just everything that's coming at you all at once, all the time. So that's what I've done here. I've recorded a quick video for you. I can also email you kind of these points here as well. Just wanted to send you something that I think will support you before you really get going tomorrow. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. So your calendar, first thing first, and I've started out with the most important one, is that my strong suggestion for you is that you consider prioritizing your key projects over just time blocks. So when you put together your matrix of the projects that you've been working on, and you're focused on the ones that are up here, those are the ones that you're going to want to block out on your calendar. So whichever one is the highest priority based on what's in this matrix definitely needs to go on your calendar. So this will be represented by usually the amount of time that you're allocating for each one of these projects. So that might be an hour or two every single day. It might be an hour or two twice a week or 3 times a week. You'll kind of need to decide what is most important that's up in this upper right hand quadrant to make sure that it is always on your calendar, so that you can see in advance for the week that you're going to allocate, let's say, 10 hours to the most important project that's way up here. Either it's the most valuable one for the company, or the one that your leaders have informed you is the most important one, or maybe it's the most challenging one. But it needs, these are the projects here that need to go on your calendar on a regular schedule for sure. Because when we're able to see throughout the week, oh yeah, I'm going to dedicate 10 hours of my time toward this project and then 6 hours towards this project, you start to bring down the anxiety that you'll never get to it because you know that you're going to get to it. So that is the number one recommendation I have for you. The second one is on your calendar, when you enter each one of these projects up here on your calendar, is to color code them. So the highest priority project might be orange. The next highest priority project might be green. The next one might be purple, so that your calendar is looking kind of like this. You're beginning to see, oh, okay, I have this big block of time here, and that's for project purple, which also equals, QA or whatever it might would be, so that you can quickly see visually the assignment of each project that's up in this upper right hand quadrant and how much time you're allocating toward that project. So you can almost, to each project, you can almost kind of weight it out, like weight by weight, WEIGHT, which ones are the most important, because they're the ones that you're working on with the most amount of time. So definitely color code these projects up here on your calendar over here. So I also wrote here, what will serve you greatly is if you are able to, at the end of the week or either at the beginning of the week, maybe use like ChatGPT or whatever tool you're using online that is an AI tool to provide an executive summary of where these projects are. Maybe it's a stoplight report. Maybe it just has, here's what I accomplished last week and here's what I'm accomplishing this week. Here are some key dates. Here are some key tasks. Here are some things we're waiting on. And if you feel called to, or if it serves you to be able to either at the beginning of the week or the end of the week send that executive status to the people who have some sort of are a leader of yours, or it would benefit them to know what the status is of the projects that are up here. So this is great for you in the event that you don't have time and they don't have time for a formal status of what's happening here. So you're always staying ahead of where are you with these kinds of projects. And you can just speak into ChatGPT and say, create me an executive summary. Here's what's happening, type it up, and then go ahead and send it out to the leaders. So I recommend this be at the end of the week to say, here's what I accomplished at the end of this week. And here's what's outstanding, and here's what my focus is next week. Or you can do it the other way around, is start out your Monday and say, I'm sending you an executive status of the following projects, and here is my focus for the week for these projects. And you can even drop in your calendar here so that they're seeing how much time you're allocating for the most important projects that you have up here. And then I also wrote in here, given it sounds like how much communication is coming your way constantly, that you're feeling emails, it may serve you if you implemented an email practice where in the subject line of your email, you're doing two things. You're including the action that you're asking of someone and then the name of the project. So the action might be review. The action might be approve. It might be status, and then the name of the project that you're working on. So that when somebody, another leader, receives the email in their inbox, you can, they'll know automatically, oh, this is, I need to review this regarding this project. If it's a critical project or a super high important project, you can always put like high priority. So it would be action, project, and then the priority, like medium or low or high priority. That's oftentimes helpful. And then you're kind of setting a standard by which maybe other people will adopt that same email practice, so that then when you get emails in your inbox, they'll be in this format. So you can tell your inbox anything that comes in for project X, Y, or Z, it goes into this folder. Anything that requires me to review something, it goes in another folder. Anything that's a medium, high, low priority will go in their own subset of folders. So this is something I teach teams. It's difficult to teach it to just one person if not everyone's abiding by it. However, it may be great for you to start it so that other people are seeing the benefit of the email that you're sending to them. So I did want to share that with you, and we can talk about that later. Okay, so that would be prioritizing key projects on your calendar. That'll be the first thing. So the second one is making sure that you are aware of your own energy pattern. So some of us are early morning, mid-morning, late morning, and then early afternoon, mid-afternoon, late afternoon, in terms of how our energy is coming forward for us. So my suggestion would be for you to consider how you prioritize these projects based on when your energy is highest. So if you're a morning person, then maybe take the most critical project or the most important project and reserve it for the very early morning. And it'll make it more natural for you to be working on that particular project, whatever it is you need to do for that particular project. So what oftentimes happens is first thing in the morning, we start replying to emails or to Teams messages. I'm not sure what system that you use if you're on Google. And we're spending all of our very precious energy first thing in the morning on replying to things coming in that don't have a structure like this. So all of a sudden it's 10, 11 o'clock and we've not accomplished any of these projects because we're utilizing all of our energy first thing in the morning for for just emails. So if you if morning is really challenging for you to get going and you're like more of an afternoon person, then maybe that works for you to start your morning first thing to replying and responding to incoming communications. That's something that you'll need to figure out what works best for you. Um, which brings me to my second thing, which is making sure you're including in this block of time every day time for you to reply to people, time for you to be able to scan some of those emails that are coming in and replying in a way that serves both you and them, which is, I need 24 hours to reply to this, or what's the priority of this, or, oh, yes, this is part of what I'm going to get to later today, that sort of thing. So making sure to include in your calendar every day specific time just for replying to emails. And when that time concludes, move on, like move on to the next block of time or the next project that you've blocked out for yourself. Otherwise, you can spend all day just responding to people and not making progress here. So also, I just want to remind you that like sometimes we think like our calendar can drive our life or be the master of our life or our professional life, and it really should be a tool that serves you and that supports you. It helps you have an awareness around where your energy is going and where your time is going. So just remembering that our calendars are our friends. They are there to support everything that we have going in our lives. I would also recommend including here creating space for you to be able to reflect, like just reflecting, just looking at this system that you have set up for yourself and asking yourself, is this system that I'm setting up working for me? How could I improve upon it? How could I make it better? And really looking at it from a place of not judging yourself or even judging the way you've set up your calendar, rather making sure that you're just pivoting it if you need to. So make sure you create time to reflect on this system. Maybe some people have admin days, like on Fridays, and they'll reserve, like, this only needs to be like maybe 15 or 30 minutes to say, okay, is this system I'm using for email working? Is the system that I'm using for weekly status working? Is my calendar system working for me based on who I am as a human and the culture that I'm working in? And then the last one is including space in your calendar every day for health and wellness. So this might be for you just getting up from your desk, walking around outside for 10 minutes. If you're at the office, making sure that you're taking a stretch break. Because I work from home, I have on my calendar that I walk my dog twice a day, and that's non-negotiable time. My dog has to go for a walk. So I do not schedule any meetings, or I try not to schedule meetings during those 15 minutes, 20 minutes that I have to walk my dog. So that's on my calendar because people can access my calendar and see it and put meetings on it and whatnot. So that's the other piece that I have for you. So I hope this serves you. I hope this supports you. And we can certainly look at this. Maybe if you have available time to begin putting something into place like this for yourself this week on Friday, then we can look at it together as a team and make sure that it is serving and supporting you, and that the overwhelm is beginning to come down a little bit. So yeah, this